What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We are back with some more draft lottery rebuilds, as here we are at pick number 7 with the Indiana Pacers. As I said in the last video, we're getting to the point where it's anyone's guess on where these prospects will actually go, but today we will be doing a Jarace Walker Indiana Pacers rebuild. Before we get in today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you are new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. YouTube tells me that 63% of you watch this video are not subscribed, so go ahead and check down below to make sure you are subscribed if you want to see more videos like this. But when it comes to the Indiana Pacers, I mean, from a while back, they were one of those teams that I feel like a lot of people didn't really care for because they just had like Sabonis, TJ Warren, LeVert, Brogdon, just had a lot of good players, but like no clear number one guy you'd want to go to. And of course, they made the big trade, Sabonis for Tyrese Halliburton, and now they're a very, very exciting team with Tyrese Halliburton, Benedict Mathurin, and they get to add someone else to the mix as well, which I've already went ahead and drafted Jarace Walker in this situation. So Jarace Walker, Colby Jones, and Derek Lively were our picks in the first round. We also got a couple second rounders as well, which I'll sign both of them to bring them into Indiana. So we're adding 5 more young players to this already pretty young up and coming roster. And we do have some veterans, but apparently we can't sign all of them. So I'll go with that. Player options. Halliburton, of course, we're going to accept. No brainer there. Neesmith, I'm going to accept as well. Isaiah Jackson, yes. Duarte. So I'll accept all of those. And then qualifying offers. We got nothing going on here, so nothing to worry about for that. And then free agency time, I believe we are going to have some cap space opened up, so we could go ahead and sign someone in free agency if we wanted to. But if we look at what we have going on right now, Halliburton and TJ McConnell is our point guard rotation. I wouldn't mind moving on from McConnell, but we'll see. We got Andrew Nembhard, Chris Duarte, Colby Jones. I know that the Pacers started Nembhard and Halliburton together last year. I would prefer Nembhard move to the backup point guard role and we get a different 2 guard here. Mathurin is listed at the 3 right now. We could always move him to the 2 if we need to. Buddy Hield is a guy I do want to move on from this offseason. He's 30 years old. I want to capitalize on his value while I can. Neesmith and Jarace Walker. Jarace Walker will start throughout the video with Jalen Smith, Jordan Nwora as well. And at the center position, of course, you have Miles Turner, Isaiah Jackson, Daniel Tyus, and Derek Lively. I will be keeping Miles Turner for, I think, year 1. There's a chance down the line we could maybe go ahead and trade him for an upgrade. We shall see. Obviously, the Pacers tried to get Ayton last year. Maybe they revisit that. I'm not going to do that today because I think in the last Pacers rebuild, I went and got DeAndre Ayton. Today, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to change it up and not go for him. So we are just simply going to make a move first with Buddy Hield. I want to go ahead and move him, get some value for him while I can, and then we can get like a different shooting guard in Indiana. So the first trade I'm going to make is be sending TJ McConnell over to the Hornets for Cody Martin. We all see what Caleb Martin's doing in the playoffs right now with the Miami Heat. Maybe we could get that out of Cody Martin as well, who's had some injury history with the Hornets, and it feels like he hasn't done a ton there. Maybe we could bring him over. He could be really good right away. So I'm going to send McConnell over to the Hornets for Cody Martin. And then I will be doing this trade with the Memphis Grizzlies, getting Luke Kennard in a first-round pick, top 3 protected Warriors pick. The Grizzlies just get an upgrade, I guess, at their backup shooting guard small forward position with Buddy Hield. Luke Kennard was pretty good for them in the playoffs. Of course, Buddy Hield kind of provides the same thing. So we're just going to go ahead and do this trade on top of what we just did for McConnell. So when it comes to free agency, I know we have cap space right now, but to be honest with you, I'm just not very a big fan of any of these free agents. The one guy I wouldn't mind bringing in is like a Gary Trent Jr., but even him, I want to see bigger picture here. I really don't want to get Gary Trent. He's only going to be able to do so much. So for me, I'm going to pass on this free agency. I'm going to leave it at where we're at right now. This team may not be a playoff team next year, but Duarte or Kennard will start at the 2 next year, and then we'll have Matthew start at the 3 with Cody Martin backing him up. Jarace Walker starting with Neesmith, Nwora, and Jalen Smith. We'll figure that out later on. And then Turner, Isaiah Jackson. So I'm going to go ahead and pass on this free agency. Not a ton of guys I'm huge fans of. We are going to pay Halliburton next year, so that's going to lose some of our cap space to maybe sign a different free agent. But obviously, as we know, the free agency next year is a lot better. So if we can get a better shooting guard in next year's free agency, or a better small forward, a better wing, I guess we should say, that is where I'm going to go with it. Because I just don't, I'm just not a big fan of what my options were. So I'm going to pass on this one. So let's load a draft class, and then let's go look at our rotation and kind of see what we're looking at this season. And then we can take a look at shot tendencies as well. So if we take a real quick look, Park is going to land us at 26, so we're probably going to be pretty bad. I honestly think Luke Kennard's a perfect fit next to Tyrese Halliburton, so I do like that. We'll roll with that for this season. So it's Halliburton, Luke Kennard, Benedict Mathurin, Jarace Walker, Turner, Isaiah Jackson, Neesmith, Nembhard, and then Chris Duarte. So Cody Martin, who we got in that trade, is not getting minutes right now, which I do want to get him minutes, but He's just not as good as some of these other guys overall wise. So fortunately, I guess we won't be giving him many minutes. And then proficiency, if we take a real quick look at it, 3.5 perimeter centric, we shall leave that the way it is. And then a couple more things. Shot tendencies, Halliburton's a 62. I'm going to push that up a little bit to like an 80. Let's go like 80. We'll go 90 on touch tendency because he's obviously going to be controlling the ball a lot. Benedict Mathurin, we need him to score as much as possible, so I'll go something like that. And then Jarace Walker, want him to come in and be pretty aggressive right away, so I'll go something like that. So, and then last but not least, I do want to do some mentorship programs as well. So let's go over to the mentorship thing if I can find it, player mentorship. And I want to be able to do this with Derek Lively and then Miles Turner while we still have him if we do keep him. So Masher, chase down artist, and then let's go like brick wall, something like that. We'll go ahead and lock that in. Is there anyone else? Jarace Walker, do we have anyone who can mentor him? Do we have a veteran? I guess we traded pretty much all of our veterans, so I guess we can go like Derek Lively, or not Derek Lively, Jarace Walker being mentored by Daniel Tice this year. I guess we'll go with that. Not a ton there, but I will go ahead and submit to the end of the season, or I will stop the deadline if I need to, but I don't plan on doing that. So at the end of the season, this first year didn't really go as planned. I mean, I'm fine with being in the lottery again, but we got 30 and 52 on the season. Nothing spectacular, but if we go look at the stats for this year, you had 21 and 11 from Tyrese Halliburton, 17 from Benedict Mathurin, 14 from Jarace Walker, 12 from Miles Turner with 8 rebounds, and then you had 12 and 8 from Isaiah Jackson, 10 from Chris Duarte, and then 10 from Luke Kennard. So obviously we got some more moves to make. That starting shooting guard spot is definitely something I'll be looking for. And then maybe an upgrade to the center position is something I'm open to as well. It just kind of depends on who we can get. So we got the Hawks going on to win the championship over the Grizzlies. Chris Paul is retiring, Kyle Lowry's retiring, and Rudy Gay and Al Horford. So draft lottery time is going to be a pretty important one. I'm pretty sure we're going to have a pretty good chance at getting a top pick. I don't know where we're projected exactly, but we are going to be projected pick number 3. So wow, we have top 3 odds at a really good pick. Do we get lucky and stay in the top 3? We shall see, and we get second overall. So the fact we walk away with second overall, actually kind of disappointing because we could have added Buzelis here. That would have been really amazing to add him, but Chicago would probably draft him. But damn, that would have been awesome. So Chicago is probably going to go ahead and draft Buzelis, unless if Chicago is still trying to win and maybe we can convince them to swap with us. We could do something like that, where we can get Tyrese Halliburton a legitimate 2 next to him, and we don't have to worry about doing it in free agency. I don't know. There's a lot to think about here. So let's see. Or we could trade second overall for a legitimate starting 2 if we think there's someone out there that's worth it. I just don't know if that exists. But man, it would be awesome. What is Chicago doing right now? Chicago gets number 1 overall. And they still have Levine, still have DeMar. I guess he's a free agent. Lonzo Ball's still there. Patrick Williams. They don't really have a center, so maybe they'd be fine with doing a Miles Turner swap type of thing. I don't know. I feel like, what else could I get in this draft if I didn't go that route? Because Matt's definitely going number 1. Bill Colby, DJ Wagner. So a lot of these guys, Bill Colby, what did he do? Don't really know. But man, oh man, if I could add Matt to this team, that'd be like perfect. I really do want to add him as my starting 2. He's so tall at 6'11" as a shooting guard. Does he actually play shooting guard in real life like that? Because that's insane if he does. But I don't know. I'm going to look at all my options. We'll see if there's anything that makes sense for us to do. We're just simply going to jump into the draft. We're not going to do anything too crazy here. Matt goes number 1 to Chicago. So what is my pick here? So we could honestly also replace Miles Turner here if we wanted to, because I'm not drafting Edwards. Evans I'm okay on. Wagner would be kind of cool as well at 6'2", but he is a point guard averaging 15 and 15, so shot terribly from 3. So not really what I'm looking for. Dillingham, not really what I'm looking for either. Booker could be our brand new center to replace Miles Turner, though, if we wanted to go that route, and we can get our shooting guard in free agency. So yeah, I think that's the route I'm going to go in. I'm going to draft Xavier Booker to be our brand new center to replace Miles Turner with pick number 2. He'll develop very nicely and be like a really good project down the line. And then we got like Mac, we got Tyrese Proctor, but I think I will be taking Ron Holland with this pick. And then I think that's all we got. And that's looking pretty good. And then I'll go ahead and draft like Adam Bone as well. And that'll be my draft. So I'm feeling pretty good about that. We walk away with Xavier Booker, get our brand new center. Bill Colby would have been the other guy I would have thought about the shooting guard spot. I don't know what kind of overall he was. He fell all the way to 74. So yeah, that would have been a reach if I did that. So we're going to go ahead and sign Adam Bone, and that will be our draft. Player options: Jalen Smith, decline. Luke Kennard, we're going to decline as well. Open up that money. Chris Duarte, Isaiah Jackson, Mathurin, of course, will accept. Qualifying offers: Neesmith and Halliburton. Definitely want Halliburton back. Neesmith, we'll see. Not really sure what I'm going to do with him. Free agency, though, because I really want to see what the shooting guard options were in free agency. Halliburton, Neesmith, Jalen Smith, and Jordan Nwora. So obviously Halliburton is my number one choice here to get him back. But free agency, Nembhard, Duarte, those are really solid backups. Benedict Mathurin, Ron Holland. Now that we have Ron Holland here, he'll be a real nice backup 3 or backup 4. But Booker will be moving to center, and then we might go ahead and trade Miles Turner here. So that's probably going to be the next step here. So let's move Xavier Booker to the 5, and we're going to trade away Miles Turner. So when it's coming to a Miles Turner trade, I came across one trade that I find very, very interesting. And we could have an interesting backcourt if we decided to do this trade. And that is this one. Miles Turner and a first-round pick over to the Warriors for Jordan Poole. The reason why the Warriors would do this is because obviously if you go with your recency bias, we all know how bad Jordan Poole was overall this season and in the playoffs as well. The Warriors have looked for a upgrade at center forever, maybe a floor spacing center who could stretch the floor for them even further, and they get a first-round pick out of it. I don't get Poole all that often, so I'm really tempted to go ahead and do this. We can have a backcourt of Jordan Poole and Tyrese Halliburton. I think Poole could play off of Halliburton very well, and obviously Poole could handle the ball if he needs to on top of that. So I'm going to pull the trigger on this trade. We're going to do it. We're going to send Miles Turner in a 2028 first over to the Warriors for Jordan Poole to be our brand new shooting guard for this Pacers squad. We'll move him to the 2. He does go down, but him and Halliburton as a backcourt with Duarte and Nembhard as our backups. I feel pretty good about that. Mathurin still at the 3, Ron Holland, Cody Martin, and then we can move Ron Holland to the 4, and Martin could be our backup 3 this season. And we have Isaiah Jackson and Booker. So I'm feeling really good. I actually think that was a great trade for us. Holland will stay the same at the 4, so I'll move him to the backup 4. So no need to bring back Aaron Nesmith. So the only thing we're looking to do now is literally just add Halliburton back to the mix, and we should be golden. And then Halliburton, Nesmith is asking for a lot of money. Nwora, Luke Kennard will let them all go. Luke Kennard's actually a cheap re-sign, so I'll give him a deal for like 2 years, $5 million. That's not too bad at all. And of course, we'll wait on a Halliburton offer, which we will be matching easily once it is done. 3 years, Halliburton. I would have loved that if that was 5 years, but whatever it is, what it is, I will be matching that 1,000%. 9 times out of 10, always going to match that. The shooting guard I was going to go for in free agency was Desmond Bane, because he's unrestricted. So that would have been wild if I could have added Desmond Bane. That would have been a lot better, to be honest with you. That would have been a lot more fun. Now, would the Grizzlies let him go? Not really, but for some reason in 2K, they always just let him go. I don't know why. But Jordan Poole is different, so I don't mind it either. So let's go straight to player progression. Now that we've added Jordan Poole to the squad, we're going to have a backcourt of Halliburton, Jordan Poole, then Mathurin should develop here even further. Poole is down 1 overall, which is not a good sign, but whatever. Mathurin, Jarace Walker's up, which is a good sign. Isaiah Jackson, Nembhard, Duarte, Booker, Ron Holland, Cody Martin, and then Luke Kennard. So, honestly, overall, I'm excited. I think this backcourt's going to be a lot of fun. I think this team could easily be a play-in team this year. I don't see why we couldn't be. So, overall, this should be a very fun team going into this next season. So, let's go ahead and load this draft class. Look at the rotation. We were the 2nd overall pick last year and added Booker to the squad. So, I'm hoping we could take a jump here and go from play-in to play-off. So, from non-play-in to just playoffs. But Halliburton, Poole, Mathurin, Jarace Walker, Booker, Isaiah Jackson, Nembhard, Chris Duarte, Ron Holland. Proficiency is a 4-star perimeter centric. We shall see how this is going to go. I'm excited. I think we're a playoff team, but you never know with this game. We'll see what happens. So at the end of the season, we didn't get the goal that I necessarily wanted, but Tyrese Halliburton makes an All-NBA 3rd team, which is a good sign, but we did make it into the play-in. So we went from non-play-in to a play-in team as a 7th seed in the East. So that's a good sign of progression. If nothing else, good sign of progression. So 22.5 plus 12 from Halliburton, 19 from Mathurin, 17 from Poole. 13 and 7.5 from Booker with 2 blocks. That's a great rookie season out of him. Jarace Walker with 11 and 6 rebounds. Love to see that. And 11 from Isaiah Jackson with 7 rebounds off the bench plus 2 blocks. So he's a must re-sign for me. Ron Holland's only going to keep getting better as well with 9 and 5. He's someone I've drafted quite often but have never kept. I do plan on keeping him hopefully here. Nembhard with 8 and 5. So overall, I really love how this rotation was able to play together this year. It's a good sign we got that 7th seed. Booker is only going to keep getting better. And then Jordan Poole, I don't know if he'll keep progressing, but Mathurin, I know, will keep getting better. So let's see if we can escape the play and get into the playoffs. We do win. And just like that, we're a playoff team. We get Boston in round 1. So they're going to have Smart, Jaylen Brown, Tatum, Bol, okay, Robert Williams, Klay Thompson, Brogdon, Derek White, Mo Bamba, Sam Hauser. I think it's safe to say we're not escaping round 1. I think we're definitely going to lose this one. This is a lot of talent on the Celtics roster, adding Klay to that mix as well. So game 1, they are down 1, or we're down 1-0, I should say. We're down 2-0. We're down 3-0, and we're going to get swept. Yeah, so we got swept, which sucks. But hey, the fact that we're even here is a good sign in itself. Let's go ahead and see who's going to go on to win the championship. You got Cleveland and Oklahoma City, and you're going to have the Cavs go on to win the whole thing. In the draft, we went ahead and walked away with Taj Petit. I think is how you're going to say that name. I could be totally wrong. Player options, I'm going to accept Cody Martin, and then that will be it for that. Duarte and Isaiah Jackson are both free agents. I definitely want Isaiah Jackson back. Duarte, on the other hand, I could see a world where we just let him go, but he's only asking for $7 million, so it's nothing crazy. But Luke Kennard's also waiting in the shadows. We need him to. And then Colby Jones also still developing in the background. Martin and Mathurin, and then you'll have Jarace Walker, Ron Holland, Xavier Booker, Derek Lively. So the main thing is getting Isaiah Jackson back. He's asking for $19 million. Now, he played really good off the bench, so I can see why he's asking for that. I don't think I'll be bringing back Chris Duarte. I am going to bring back Isaiah Jackson, though, like 1,000%. So Duarte, I'm going to renounce Duarte. I'm not going to bring him back, but Isaiah Jackson, easily want him back. It's going to keep telling me to renounce him, but that is not going to happen. Just like I did in the last video and I've done in the past, I'm going to wait till day 12 to bring him back because that's obviously going to give, that's going to be able to give us the ability to sign him for cheaper. The value goes down the further you go. So let's just keep going until he gets an offer, or we're just at day 12, which we're about to be. So day 12, here we come, and we'll be able to sign Isaiah Jackson hopefully for lower than he was asking. So it's down to 16 million, and then day 12 down to something like this. So I'm going to go 4 years, 15 million. 4 years, 15 million. Got him down a little bit. We'll sign Isaiah Jackson to be our backup big man. Play progression, Halliburton is up. Poole is up. Mathurin is up. Jarace Walker is up. Booker is up to an 81, which is a great sign. Isaiah Jackson's also up. Nimbard's up. Ron Holland's up. So all this is looking really good. Lively, Colby Jones are also up as well. So overall, we're looking really good. Rotation's going to be really literally the same, other than the fact we don't have Duarte anymore. So I will see you guys at the end of next season. So we're stopping the trade deadline to make a trade. We're sending Cody Martin, Luke Kennard, and a second-round pick over to the Hawks for Jalen Johnson and Bruno Fernando. Right now, we're pretty disappointing. 24-32 on the year. I thought for sure this would be a year we were over 500, easily going to be a playoff team, but that's not turning out that way. So we're adding Jalen Johnson in the mix to hopefully change some things up for us. I don't know if it's going to. Just gives us an upgrade at the end of the bench. Hopefully that turns some things around. If nothing else, if we could be a playing team this year, that'd be fine. 10th seed in the East, but this looks like another year where we're not a contender, unfortunately. I had to show this real quick. Garland averaged 40 and 13 and win MVP, which is literally just insane. I mean, the way the NBA is going, I wouldn't be too shocking to see someone average 40 points per game on the season, which would just be wild if that were to happen. They would have to have like no help around them, it feels like. But regardless, we are once again in the play-in. Not where I wanted to be whatsoever, so I'm definitely really disappointed. But I feel like if we can sneak into the playoffs, we can maybe just maybe do something. We shall see. But yeah, overall, not really where I wanted to be at this point. So we are going to simcast against Brooklyn and see if we can get out of here with the win and move on to the second round of the play-in. So I don't even know what Brooklyn has at this point, but right now we are blowing them out, which is a great sign for us, and we are going to beat them 111 and 133. Isaiah Jackson with 25 off the bench. We will take that each and every day, but now we get to play LaMelo and Scoot, which obviously is going to be a very tough task, but we shall see how this goes. So hopefully we can come out here and win and get into the playoffs, and maybe we could be that scary 8th seed, unless we're going to get bounced out here, which is looking like we're going to, and we do lose in the play-in. So we went from the playoffs last year to getting swept back to the play-in. So we took a step back, which is something I didn't have in mind and planned out. So really disappointed by that. So maybe Jordan Poole was not the answer because he's not. I don't know. Is it Jordan Poole's fault that we suck? I don't know, but I might be looking to make a change this offseason because right now things are not working the way I wanted them to. I said I wanted to make a change and I wanted to get him earlier. It's Desmond Bane. Is he going to make a big difference? I have no idea, but he's someone I don't get that often. So I'm sitting Poole, Petit, in a 2030 first round pick for Desmond Bane to get him from Oklahoma City. So Bane's our brand new 2 next to Halliburton. I'm hoping that works out a lot better. I should have just signed him to begin with. We shall see how that goes, but that's the big move I just made. Staff signing, we're also getting a new head coach in the building, and I guess it's going to be Darvin Ham. I was trying to get like a really good veteran head coach. As you can see, we're going to miss out on everybody other than Darvin Ham. So Darvin Ham will be our brand new head coach, replacing Rick Carlisle. So don't know if that's going to make a huge difference here, but hopefully it does because I'm ready to be a contender. I really am. And the fact we haven't even been a playoff team yet, so it's really hard to go from obviously missing on the playoffs to being a contender. But it can happen. We have the 8th overall pick. Not really sure what that. Oh, I guess that's from our own pick. We jumped up maybe a little bit. I don't know. Let's see. At pick number 8, let's see what we can snag. At this point, I don't even know if these guys will be. Bryce James, welcome in. So Bryce James is our pick. He might even be able to get minutes right away off the bench, to be honest with you. He is a 78 overall. So yeah, he might just play right away. Player options, we're going to accept all these. And then qualifying offers. Benedict Mathurin, of course, is a must resign for us. And then free agency, I don't think we have anything crazy other than Mathurin. Nembhard is also someone I wouldn't mind having back. So I'm going to resign Nembhard, and then I'm going to wait on Mathurin to resign him, and that will be it for me. So Nembhard will be our backup point guard, and then Benedict Mathurin, same thing. We're going to sign you back, and that will be our offseason. So got that taken care of. I don't think there's anyone else or anything else I'm looking to do here. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. So yeah, we got a rotation. Let's go player progression. Let's see if we can get someone developing even further. Maybe Booker can go up 3 overall or something. That's going to help out a ton. Ron Holland, I think, hits a development trait here pretty quickly, or not trait, but, you know, hits a huge development. Ron Holland's up to an 80. Nobody moved up too much at all, which is a little disappointing, but hopefully Lively's up to a 77, Colby Jones. So those guys are developing, which is nice. But hopefully with Desmond Bane here, things change a little bit. Booker went up. Got a new head coach. We'll see if that changes anything. I would love nothing more to be a top seed in the East this year, especially after being bounced out last year the way we did. Well, this year, things went a ton better. As you can see, 26 and 12 from Tyrese Halliburton, 49% from the field, 83% from free throw, 44% from 3. Love to see it. Harrington's rookie of the year in Washington. Chet's your sixth man in Oklahoma City. Defensive player goes to Robert Williams. So him and Jaren Jackson as a front court would be nasty. I don't know if they still have Jaren Jackson, but man, would that be crazy. Gregory Jackson, most improved, and Mark Dagnall is coach of the year. John Murphy, easier executive. So Halliburton, of course, makes All-NBA first team. Here's your All-NBA second team, All-NBA third, All-Defense first team, and All-Defensive second team. I guess Jackson's in San Antonio now. But man, a Robert Williams, Jaren Jackson, defensive front court sounds kind of insane. But looking at the first seed in the Eastern Conference right now. So we went from not even making the playoffs to being in exactly where we wanted to be. So 26 and 12 from Halliburton. It really helps when you have an MVP. 20 from Mathurin, 16 from Desmond Bane. So he came in right away, and I think he just changed some things up for us. He's up to an 89. 13 and 8. 2 blocks from Booker, still doing his thing. 6 from Jarace Walker. Or, sorry, 12 and 6 from Jarace Walker. Also shooting 49% from the field, 30% from 3. So are we going to win a championship this year? I don't know. This is like the first year we're actually in the playoffs as a team that should get out of round 1. Do get Philly in round 1. So they got James Harden, Maxey, Joel Embiid, Bobby Portis, Tobias Harris, DiVincenzo, Isaiah Hartenstein. Very solid team. We'll go game by game here. Game 1, we do beat them pretty badly. 34 from Mathurin, 28 from Jarace Walker, 24 and 20 from Halliburton. So Halliburton's a cheat code right now. 2-0 start, 3-0. Can we go 4-0? We sweep the 76ers. So they're not even a competition. We get rid of them very easily, and now we get Detroit. So Detroit, they got Cade Cunningham, Ivy, Osman, Stewart, Capella, Wiseman, Hayes, Asar Thompson, and James Bouknight. Game 1, we're up 1-0. So far, so good. Halliburton 23 and 10, 26 and 6 from Cade Cunningham. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? No. Can we beat them in 6? Yes, we can. And now we're playing Toronto in the Eastern Conference Finals. So let's see what Toronto has at this point. Cason Wallace, LaMelo Ball. Okay. Interesting. So LaMelo, Cason Wallace, Scotty Barnes, Siakam, Jakob Bones Highland, Koloko, Boswell, and Monty Bates. Very, very interesting squad in Toronto. LaMelo Ball, as we know, is pretty tough to beat, as they do win game 1, but we even it up 24 and then 25 from Mathurin. Game 3, 2-1 start for us, 136 or 146 to 139, 36 and 13, 25 and 18 from Booker. Love to see that. Game 4, 3-1 start. There we go. And we are 1 game away from being in the NBA Finals. And we beat them. And now we get to play the San Antonio Spurs or the Pelicans. And we get the Spurs to have Victor Wembanyama. So Halliburton versus Vic. We got Collier, Branham, Keldon Johnson, Jaren Jackson, Walker Kessler, Dylan Harper. Wow, what a front court that is with Vic and Jaren Jackson. The length and the defense there is insane. Plus you have Kessler coming off the bench. I don't even know how they got him. That literally makes no sense. 33 million. Jaren Jackson's making 40 million. So they're just paying a lot of money for Jackson and Kessler, even though they have Vic, who they're gonna have to pay eventually, literally next year. So interesting. Now here we go. Game 1. We're up 1-0, 116 and 94. Halliburton with 30 and 11, 23 from Mathurin. Game 2. 2-0. Game 3, 2-1. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. And can we beat them in 5? No. Game 6. Let's go ahead and see if we can close them out in game 6. I would really hope so. We can celebrate our championship here in game 6 in San Antonio. It's definitely going to be a close one. Very close game. 118 and 108. Oh my goodness. This is as close as it can be. Do we go ahead and jump in and watch? Yes, I think we do. I think we watch the end here. 135 to 133. We could close out our championship here. Let's go ahead and see if we can do just that. All right, here we are with 1:45 left on the clock. I'm completely out of the way so you guys can see the scoreboard. We're up 2 right now, and we're literally just 1:40 left from being able to win our championship here in Indiana. So we get a screen from Isaiah Jackson. Halliburton. MVP is going to pass to Isaiah Jackson. Jackson's down low on whoever that is. I'm not even sure. Halliburton midi. Nope. He passes out to Mathurin. Mathurin's going to get a screen from Isaiah Jackson. Midi, wide open. Mathurin misses it. Halliburton almost grabs the offensive board, but Keldon Johnson's off and running with the ball. He's going to go in and attack the paint. He's going to stop, dribbling it up. Going to go down to Branham, I believe, and he gets blocked by Bane, but I think they call a foul. I just didn't see it. So Branham is going to shoot 2 at the free throw line. Branham is going to make the first one. Now, will he make the second one is the question to even the score, and he is going to make the second one. So just like that, it's a tie ball game. 1:15 left on the clock. Halliburton's going to handle the basketball here. So we had a good look last possession. So hopefully we can do just that again. Halliburton's got an open Jarace Walker. Walker for 3, and he's going to miss it. We'll get the offensive board from Ron Holland. Wow, Jarace Walker, man. If you could have made that, that would have been big time. But Ron Holland shoots a terrible, terrible shot in the post. Spurs are off and running again. Keldon Johnson attacking, and he's getting a screen from Kessler. It looks like Keldon Johnson for 3, and he's going to hit that in our face. Wow. That is not a good sign. We are down 3 points now after the Keldon Johnson 3, so we might have to go to a game 7 unless if we get a good score here, and Halliburton literally just turns it over. If the Spurs score here, call this a done deal. We play good defense. We get the board. Okay, off and running again. Let's see if we can get a 3-pointer here or something. Let's see. Halliburton, can you tie it up? 28 seconds left on the clock. I need a screen. Halliburton, you can do it. Get that screen. Okay, good look. Open 3. He's going to go in and out, and the Spurs are going to get the board. And that'll probably be how it ends. So we're going to a game 7, unfortunately. All right, now it's time for game 7 at home. This is for a championship. This is a big game here as we need this one. We are going to go ahead and start off with a good lead. Spurs are still right behind us, though. It's looking good so far. Looking good. I think we got this in the bag. The Spurs were able to survive in game 6, but it's looking like we closed them out here in game 7 in front of the home fans. I accidentally didn't stop in time to show you guys the championship celebration, but you know what? At the end of the day, it's okay. We weren't able to close out in game 6. We do win in game 7. Halliburton, 28 points, 10 assists to be your finals MVP, and we beat the Spurs in 7. So that's going to be how this video ends. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Thank you guys for watching. As always, I will see y'all in the next one, but for now, this is Crushables. Hopefully tomorrow we're doing a Celtics offseason rebuild because I think their offseason is going to be very interesting. We shall see if Miami can close them out tonight, but for this is Crushables. See y'all in the next one. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.